Okay, so let me see if I can explain to you accurately within 10 minutes exactly where I am in my healing journey. I grew up in a household where it was go to church, pray, throw some money at it, and ask for forgiveness. And, that doesn't really work for me because that effectively makes money your God. And I don't believe in that form of Catholicism. It's not like that. The true meaning of repentance is to change the way your mind thinks so that you don't commit that course of action again. This requires understanding of neurology and how to break thought loops. In just a short amount of time, I have managed to break certain thought loops and thought patterns. I'm completing the task of mortgage assumption for my home so I can separate myself from all of those individuals entirely. They might see this as a gift to them or me giving up, but really what it is me not going backwards into familiar or old thought loops or behavior patterns. Meanwhile, I'm here changing the way I think, changing the way I do things, changing my neurological wiring to break the symptoms of thought pattern looping and regression. So, I'm working on me. That's what I'm doing. And I'm doing that with a healthy understanding of all of the areas it's going to take for me to grow. And I do that by acknowledging myself and being honest with myself at all times. I've seen a lot of people lose their minds from wearing masks, so I just don't do it. It's been my entire life. I've seen people, my own family. There's addiction and mental illness that is just rampant through it. And they thought because they went to church they were somehow better, but that was the mask. What was going on behind closed doors was very dark, very vile, very evil. And I think that duality in their public and personal lives, and that mask they wore without accepting themselves for who they are and choosing to change it, lack of repentance, is what kept them in a state of ongoing decline. On the other hand of things, I'm not going to put myself on the front lines of any battle to fight back or recreate hardship in my own life by choosing to go face to face in darkness anymore. I'm not doing that. I'm breaking that habit. But I will tell you this. My identity was stolen. Crimes were committed in my name or could have possibly been, and I'm not going to let fear stop me from protecting myself and culpability in somebody else's dirty deeds. That's just the fact of it. That's what it is. I'm not going to let fear dictate my decision-making process. I'm not going to let social pressures make me conform to being small and letting other people do dirty things in my name. There was also the fact of that 3-year-long smear campaign on me where they completely tarnished my reputation. So, I'm going to move in a way that protects me and allows me to move on, transcend the situation entirely, and allow God to do His work by means of karma. I figure that if I'm going to preach healing and understanding of healing, I need to exhibit those signs and bring to you my understanding of what that's actually going to take and show that I am doing it. The meeting I had today was incredibly beneficial in the processing of that and the circumstances that I find myself in, and helping to make sure that I don't regress. So I'm doing it. I'm doing the work to break those thought patterns. I'm doing the work to rewire my neurology to not think the same. I'm doing the work to not have to go to battle and let God fight that battle for me. It's not just me saying it. It's a conscious act. That being said, I will protect myself from any legal culpability or liability because I don't deserve to go down for somebody else's crimes, regardless of what kind of fear or pressure or emotional pressure they're trying to put on me to get me involved in their nonsense. I'm not involved. I'm completely 100% separate from it, and the record will reflect that. On the other side, I found a bunch of mailing addresses and email addresses, including the LLC that I did set up on the West Coast, but I never had access to since. I've done absolutely nothing with it. I moved very, very shortly after the setup, and I never once again even tried to do anything with it because I realized that the business venture I created that LLC for was lost when I found out about the Ponzi scheme associated with those people. So I never acted on it. I never went further. I never chose to assist those people in their dark ways. I kept myself separate from it. The law itself has not been on my side. Nobody's been willing to help. Social Security Administration has not been willing to help, but now I have concrete evidence and proof that my Social Security number was corrupted and being used by others or people other than me. I now have proof that my mailing address or the addresses at which my mail is going is not being received by me. I have proof that there are states I've never been in or been associated with where my mailing address is being used. I have proof. So there's no reason for me to accept any liability at somebody else's hands. So I'm not going to go tit for tat. I'm not going to go back into battle head on. I'm going to completely transcend the entire experience and let God and the law do their job as they see fit and in accordance with the confines of the law and of karma. I'm not going to interrupt that process in any way. I am just going to protect myself because I was not a party to those crimes. So, moving forward, I'm adopting new habits. I'm adopting new mindsets. I'm keeping to myself. I am involved in the rooms in a sense where I donate at least once a week because others have that herd mentality and operate better with others' help, but I tend to do better off alone in most things because it's always been me alone, and that's just how I operate and how I process. So by doing this internal work, I see no necessity to bring my mind into the repetitive thought loop of, hi, my name is Luke and I'm an alcoholic. I have no necessity to continue instilling that thought loop in me in hopes that community will help me through the process. I am transcending by breaking that thought loop entirely. I'm keeping to myself while I'm here. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm continuing to work. I'm continuing to grow. And I've built a community based on healing. So I need to represent that community accurately and properly. And that is my duty. I realize the authority and power that I have accrued and amassed and the influence that I have. And I feel as though I keep myself humble by maintaining the standard of service as opposed to authoritarian rule. I am not adopting toxic or narcissistic alpha mindset habits. I figure if I do that, I have lost. And I've failed enough in my life to just know better by now. So I'm adulting in this process. It's a beautiful sunny day. I'm keeping to myself. I'm continuously doing the work. I'm proud of the progress I made, and I'm proud of the progress I'm seeing within my community. So thank you to the Healing Collective, the Divine Collective. I love all you guys, and I hope we can keep growing together and keep on this mission that we have placed on ourselves of being a positive influence in society and role models of that influence. So carry on. Have a great day.